Morning, everyone. It's 8:23 on Friday the 17th, ahead of a three-day weekend. So expect things to get a little bit more uh, thinly traded towards the second half of the day. And we'll see where we go. As far as the futures at 8 o'clock, the Dow futures were up 200. Currently at 825, they're up 251. NASDAQ up 120, now up 135. S&P up 32, now up 38. I put out some commentary yesterday on Discord, and you know, you can just scroll up and see what it was about. But basically, it was about the fact that we have no journalists, people who know the right questions to ask some of these people who come on. And, secondarily, the fact that politicians and CEOs think it's okay to lie. We can thank Mr. Trump for that from the standpoint of he was an inveterate liar and made no bones about it, really. But I just saw an Obama energy person come on, a spokesperson, head of whatever that council was that he did, and absolutely bold faced lied about what Biden said and why gas prices are so high. I mean, it just amazes me. And, unfortunately, the market is skewed towards the professional. So we have a bunch of people who are professional and probably understand these lies. And then we have the unsophisticated people who listen to this stuff. And because it's an authoritarian figure, accept it as gospel. And clearly it's not. So, I mean, I think that's a huge problem for this market, and I think that's part of the issue. Now, the one other area that I want to make mention about, because this is an area that the CEOs have talked and talked and talked to anybody who listen, and that is airlines and cruise lines. I don't care what the bookings are. When you lump on the massive amounts of share issuance and debt issuance, I don't care how many people fly, they're not going to make money. And that's a huge problem. And I don't hear anybody talking about it, and I hear less of the teleprompter readers actually saying to some of these people when they interview them, but what about the amount of stock that you have out? It's a formula. Earnings divided by share outstanding, and that number is going to shrink. They talk about how they're running at capacity, except capacity today is a whittled down number of flights because they don't need them. Okay, enough soapbox. Asia is a little lower, Europe is a little higher. Um, Big Steel uh, looks like the stock is up. That's X. Stock is 2080 up $1.22, or a little over 6.33%, on the basis of loosening of sanctions, high prices for not sanctions but tariffs, and higher prices for steel based on demand. Adobe had earnings last night. They beat, but they had particularly poor guidance. Now, this is a great company. I mean, I use them. Online for my weekly letter. I mean, lots of people use Adobe. The stock closed yesterday 365.08. That was down $11.84. And then even with the loss, I mean, even with the beat in earnings, the guidance was really poor. And the stock is currently trading 351.30. That's down another 13.78, or 3.7%. You have to remember, 10 days ago, this stock was 442. 8 months ago, the stock was 700. It's been cut in half. At some point, it's probably going to be a strong buy. And, you know, unfortunately, when the market goes down, 90% of the stocks go down. So it's not getting any help from the current trend. Jeffries upgrades both NVIDIA and Boeing. Neither of them are moving particularly big. They're high priced stocks. And they're up 1.4 and 1.7% respectively. Same situation over at Baird, American Express and Capital One. Neither of those are up more than 1.8%. And final news of the day, Walmart is going to advertise and allow people to buy from Roku right on their system. So what? AAII numbers. Uh, Again, remember this is a contrary indicator. 19.4 down 1.6 on the bulls. This is an interesting number. It seems to be hovering down here, but it's very, very light. It's 50% of its traditional average. Bears 58.3, up almost 12 basis points, which is huge. It's also three times the number of bears as bulls. And I remind you, everybody is never right. And when three times as many people think that we should be lower or we will be lower, then it's time for another bear market rally. I did this a little early because the only two economic items that we have are industrial production and capacity utilization. And those don't come until 9:15, and that's just not enough time to get you the information before the open. Okay, gold, nice bounce, running into supply here. Doubt it will get through 1878 to 1880. I will discuss it with Dennis this morning, and if he has anything special to say, I will put it out. Okay, Dow up 242, so staying right around where it was. 10-year 321.8, so that's lower. S&P up 36 and a half, so that's staying within range. Same thing within range, up 136 on the Nasdaq. Uh, in any event, remember it's a long weekend, a short week next week, and volume should start to decrease around 12 or 1 o'clock. And unfortunately, the Celtics could not have looked any crappier last night to lose game 6 and end the series with Golden State. Congratulations to Golden State fans. All right. Have a